Overcoming Procrastination, written and published by Rise with Wisdom. Welcome and thank you for listening to Overcoming Procrastination. If you've ever found yourself delaying important tasks, feeling overwhelmed by responsibilities, or struggling to stay consistent, you're not alone. Procrastination is something we all experience at some point, but it doesn't have to control our lives. This audiobook is designed to help you understand the root causes of procrastination, recognize your own patterns, and develop practical strategies to take control of your time and actions. Procrastination isn't just about laziness. It's often driven by fear, perfectionism, or a lack of structure. By addressing these underlying factors, you can break free from the cycle and start making real progress toward your goals. Each chapter will guide you through a different aspect of overcoming procrastination, from recognizing triggers and changing habits to mastering self-discipline and staying motivated. By the end of this audiobook, you'll have the tools to stop delaying and start doing, taking control of your life one step at a time. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Understanding Procrastination. Why we delay. Procrastination is a familiar enemy. It's something we all face at some point in our lives. No matter how disciplined we might be in other areas, you've probably experienced it. Putting off an important task, telling yourself, "I'll do it later," or thinking, "It's not that urgent." Maybe you've even found yourself in the habit of pushing off tasks until the very last minute, causing unnecessary stress and anxiety. But why does procrastination happen? Why do we delay things we know are important? To truly understand procrastination, we need to dive into the psychology behind it and explore the reasons we put things off. First, let's address the most common misconception. Procrastination isn't a sign of laziness. In fact, procrastinators are often hard workers in other areas of their lives. They show up for work, take care of their responsibilities, and even do well in tasks that aren't as emotionally triggering. The problem arises with specific tasks that seem overwhelming, intimidating, or unpleasant. When faced with these tasks, procrastination becomes a defense mechanism. A major factor behind procrastination is fear. Fear takes many forms, but fear of failure is one of the most powerful motivators behind putting things off. Think about it. If you're afraid that your work won't be good enough, or that it won't turn out as planned, the natural instinct is to avoid it altogether. After all, if you don't do it, you can't fail at it, right? The problem is that this avoidance only leads to more anxiety as the task remains unfinished. Fear of success is another form of procrastination that many people overlook. This might seem counterintuitive at first, but some individuals fear the pressure and responsibility that success brings. Success can create high expectations, which can be daunting. Procrastination in this case is the subconscious mind trying to avoid the added responsibility and expectations that come with success. Another significant reason behind procrastination is perfectionism. Many people who struggle with procrastination also tend to be perfectionists. They believe that if they can't do something perfectly, they shouldn't do it at all. As a result, they delay starting because they want everything to be flawless from the outset. The problem with this is that perfectionism paralyzes progress. The idea of needing everything to be perfect is unrealistic, and this mindset prevents action from even being taken. Procrastination also arises from decision fatigue. In today's world, we are constantly bombarded with decisions, both big and small. Should I check my phone now? Should I scroll through social media? What should I eat for dinner? All of these choices take a toll on our cognitive resources. When we face a task that requires effort and focus, we may feel mentally exhausted and unable to make a decision. As a result, we delay starting the task altogether, often opting for an easier, less demanding activity, such as watching TV or checking our emails. A lack of motivation is another key factor. It's easy to assume that motivation will come first and that once we're in the mood, we'll begin working. However, research shows that motivation follows action, not the other way around. If you wait for motivation to strike, you may never start. The key is to start small, even if you don't feel ready or motivated. Once you begin, the momentum will build and motivation will follow. The hardest part is often just getting started. Our environment plays a huge role in procrastination too. If your workspace is cluttered or full of distractions, it's much harder to focus and make progress. Distractions, like notifications from your phone, emails, and social media, pull your attention away from the task at hand. A disorganized environment can also create mental clutter, making it difficult to concentrate. The more distractions you have, the more likely you are to procrastinate. Creating a clean, organized space that encourages focus can make a significant difference in reducing procrastination. Now, let's consider how procrastination is not just about time management, but emotional management as well. It's about how we handle our feelings towards tasks. If we don't address the underlying emotions and thoughts that fuel procrastination, we may find ourselves continually repeating the same cycle. Procrastination is a response to emotional discomfort. It could be fear, overwhelm, anxiety, or simply not knowing where to start. The challenge is recognizing that procrastination is often a way to avoid these uncomfortable feelings. But here's the good news. Procrastination can be overcome. It may not happen overnight, but understanding the reasons behind your procrastination is the first step toward breaking the cycle. Once you understand why you procrastinate, you can begin implementing strategies to overcome it. In the next chapter, we'll take a deeper look at how to recognize your personal procrastination patterns. Understanding your own triggers will help you identify the root cause of your procrastination and give you the tools to break free from it. We'll explore simple yet powerful strategies to help you take control of your tasks and build a productive mindset. By doing so, you'll be able to shift from procrastination to progress, allowing you to tackle tasks with confidence and clarity. Remember, overcoming procrastination isn't about beating yourself up or feeling guilty. It's about developing new habits, adjusting your mindset, and learning to take action even when you don't feel like. The more you practice, the easier it becomes, and the more confident you'll feel in your ability to tackle any challenge that comes your way. Now that we've identified the reasons behind procrastination, let's move on to strategies that can help us push past it. Stay tuned for the next chapter, where we'll explore practical tips to stop procrastinating and start taking action. Identifying your procrastination patterns, the first step to change. In the first chapter, we explored the different psychological factors behind procrastination. Now, we're going to dive deeper into how to identify your own procrastination patterns. By understanding what triggers your procrastination, you'll be in a much stronger position to combat it effectively. Everyone procrastinates in different ways, and by recognizing the specific patterns that apply to you, you can begin to address them head-on. The first step in overcoming procrastination is self-awareness. You need to be able to notice when and why you procrastinate. Procrastination doesn't happen in a vacuum. It's often tied to specific situations, tasks, or even emotions. Once you identify your personal patterns, you can develop strategies that work for you. Recognizing common triggers. Procrastination often happens for specific reasons, and it's important to recognize these triggers in your life. For some, procrastination is linked to feelings of anxiety. If a task seems too overwhelming, it can be easier to avoid it altogether. The anxiety of not knowing where to start or how to tackle the task might feel unbearable. This often happens with large projects that seem too daunting, so we delay starting because we fear we won't be able to do them perfectly. Another common trigger is perfectionism. If you're someone who holds yourself to an extremely high standard, you may find it hard to begin tasks because you feel that they need to be flawless from the start. You may avoid starting because you're scared of not meeting your own expectations. This can lead to a cycle where you never begin or finish tasks because you're striving for something unattainably perfect. Another common reason people procrastinate is a lack of motivation. Tasks that feel boring or uninteresting are easy to put off. For example, if you're assigned a task that doesn't excite you, you might find yourself putting it off in favor of something more engaging. This is common in both work and school settings, where certain tasks feel like drudgery, and it's easy to justify avoiding them. Procrastination can also be a result of decision fatigue. When we have to make too many decisions throughout the day, we can reach a point of mental exhaustion. This makes it harder to decide which task to focus on, and instead of starting, we avoid making any decisions altogether. When faced with a big task, this decision fatigue can prevent us from taking the first step. Understanding your personal patterns. Now that we've discussed some common procrastination triggers, let's move on to identifying your specific patterns. Think about the last few times you procrastinated. Was there a particular task or type of task that you avoided? What emotions did you experience when you thought about it? Were you anxious, bored, or overwhelmed? Understanding the emotions tied to the task can give you insight into why you procrastinate. For example, do you often procrastinate on tasks that feel uninteresting or meaningless? This might indicate a lack of intrinsic motivation or a disconnect between the task and your goals. Or do you find yourself putting off tasks because they seem too large and overwhelming? This could be a sign of perfectionism or fear of failure. You might also notice that procrastination occurs during certain times of the day or in specific environments. Do you procrastinate more when you're at home, in a noisy environment, or when you're tired? Your surroundings and energy levels can play a significant role in whether or not you put things off. Understanding these external factors can help you create a more conducive environment for productivity. Another pattern to look for is how you react to deadlines. Are you someone who waits until the last minute to start? If you thrive under pressure and find that you work best with tight deadlines, this may be a sign of procrastination. It's easy to tell yourself that you'll get started when the deadline gets closer, but this often leads to unnecessary stress and rushed work. It's also worth examining how you handle distractions. Do you find yourself checking your phone, scrolling through social media, or jumping from task to task instead of focusing on the one at hand? These distractions can serve as an escape from the anxiety or discomfort associated with a specific task. Identifying when and why you seek out distractions can help you cut them off before they become a reason for procrastination. Journaling and reflection. One of the most effective ways to identify your procrastination patterns is to keep a journal. By writing down your thoughts and feelings when you're avoiding a task, you can begin to uncover the underlying reasons for your procrastination. This simple habit can provide clarity and insight into what's really going on beneath the surface. Start by setting aside a few minutes each day to reflect on the tasks you've put off. Write down the task, how you felt about it, and what you were doing instead. Did you feel anxious? Did the task seem too overwhelming? Did you simply lack interest? Over time, this will give you a clearer picture of your unique procrastination triggers. It's also important to note any patterns in your energy levels. Do you tend to procrastinate more when you're tired or hungry? Are there certain times of the day when you're more prone to distractions? This awareness can help you schedule your tasks at times when you're most likely to be focused and productive. Taking responsibility for your procrastination. One of the most difficult aspects of overcoming procrastination is taking full responsibility for it. It's easy to blame external factors, like a busy schedule, a noisy environment, or difficult circumstances. But the truth is that procrastination is a personal choice. You are the one who decides to delay or avoid a task. Recognizing this is the first step toward gaining control over it. This doesn't mean that you're to blame for procrastination in a way that leads to self-criticism. Rather, taking responsibility is about recognizing that you have the power to make changes. When you understand the reasons behind your procrastination, you empower yourself to take action. Instead of feeling helpless or out of control, you realize that change is within your grasp. By acknowledging that procrastination is your choice, you can start to shift your mindset. Instead of saying, "I can't help it," or "I'm just lazy," you can start saying, "I'm in control of my actions." This shift in mindset is powerful and can help you move from inaction to action. The role of self-awareness in overcoming procrastination. Self-awareness is the key to overcoming procrastination. Once you understand the patterns, triggers, and emotions behind your procrastination, you can begin to implement strategies to address them. Without this awareness, you're left stumbling in the dark, unsure of why you keep procrastinating or how to stop. But with awareness, you can begin to make changes that lead to lasting improvements. In the next chapter, we'll explore practical tools and techniques for overcoming procrastination. These strategies will help you break free from the cycle of avoidance and take consistent action toward your goals. Understanding your procrastination patterns is the foundation, but now it's time to move toward creating positive habits and developing a proactive mindset. Remember, overcoming procrastination is a journey, not a quick fix. Be patient with yourself and take it one step at a time. By starting with self-awareness, you're already on the right path toward breaking the cycle of procrastination for good. Chapter 3. Setting clear goals and prioritizing tasks. The roadmap to action. Now that you've identified your procrastination patterns, the next step is to create a plan for moving forward. Setting clear, actionable goals is the foundation of productivity and one of the most effective ways to combat procrastination. If you don't know where you're headed, it's easy to get stuck in the loop of indecision and avoidance. In this chapter, we'll discuss how to set meaningful goals and prioritize tasks to ensure that you're moving towards success. The power of clear goals. Goals are like a map guiding you toward your destination. Without clear goals, you're simply wandering aimlessly, unsure of where to focus your energy. One of the key reasons procrastination occurs is that people feel overwhelmed by the thought of completing tasks without understanding their importance or how to approach them. This lack of direction leads to hesitation and eventually procrastination. To begin overcoming this, the first step is to get clear on what you want to achieve. Whether it's a long-term objective like starting a business or a short-term task like finishing a project at work, having a clear goal will give you purpose and motivation. When you can visualize the outcome, it becomes easier to make progress. SMART goals. A framework for success. One of the most effective methods for setting goals is the SMART framework. SMART goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's break down each of these components. 1. Specific. A specific goal is clear and well-defined. Instead of saying, "I want to get better at time management," say, "I want to create a weekly schedule that helps me stay on top of my tasks." 2. Measurable. A measurable goal allows you to track your progress. For example, "I will complete 3 tasks per day for the next 2 weeks." is a measurable goal. It gives you something concrete to work toward and evaluate. 3. Achievable. Your goals should be realistic. While it's important to challenge yourself, setting goals that are too ambitious can set you up for failure. Make sure your goal is something that you can reasonably accomplish, given your resources and time. 4. Relevant. A relevant goal aligns with your values and long-term aspirations. Ask yourself, does this goal matter to me? Is it in line with where I want to go in life? If it's relevant, you'll be more motivated to stay committed. 5. Time-bound. Having a deadline is crucial for goal setting. Without a time frame, goals tend to stretch out indefinitely, which allows procrastination to take over. Set a deadline for when you want to achieve your goal and commit to meeting it. Using the SMART framework can help you break down your goals into actionable steps, making them feel less overwhelming and more attainable. Prioritizing tasks for maximum impact. Once you've set your goals, it's important to prioritize tasks that will move you closer to them. Prioritization helps you focus on what matters most and prevents you from getting caught up in busy work that doesn't contribute to your objectives. Without prioritization, it's easy to fall into the trap of doing tasks that feel urgent but aren't actually important. One effective way to prioritize tasks is by using the Eisenhower matrix, named after former U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower. The matrix divides tasks into 4 quadrants based on urgency and importance. Quadrant 1. Urgent and important. These tasks are both time-sensitive and crucial to your goals. These are the tasks you need to tackle immediately, such as meeting a work deadline or addressing an urgent problem. Quadrant 2. Not urgent but important. These tasks are important for your long-term success but don't require immediate action. They might include strategic planning, working on personal projects, or setting up systems for future success. Focus on these tasks to make progress toward your long-term goals. Quadrant 3. Urgent but not important. These tasks feel urgent but don't contribute to your long-term goals. They might include answering emails, attending non-essential meetings, or dealing with minor distractions. While they can't be completely ignored, they should be minimized or delegated when possible. Quadrant 4. Not urgent and not important. These tasks are time wasters that don't add value to your life or goals. They might include excessive social media scrolling, watching TV, or other activities that don't contribute to your personal or professional growth. Minimize these tasks as much as possible. By using the Eisenhower matrix, you can easily see which tasks need your attention first and which ones can be pushed aside. Prioritizing your work this way helps you focus on what truly matters, which reduces procrastination. Breaking tasks down into manageable chunks. Once you've identified the tasks that are most important, it's time to break them down into smaller, manageable chunks. One of the biggest reasons people procrastinate is that tasks seem too large and overwhelming. When faced with a huge project, it's easy to feel like there's too much to do, and as a result, avoid getting started. The key to overcoming this is to break down each task into smaller steps. For example, instead of saying, "I need to write a 10-page report," break it down into smaller tasks like research the topic for 30 minutes, outline the structure of the report, write the introduction, write the body paragraphs, edit and proofread the report. By breaking tasks down into smaller pieces, you make the work feel more manageable. You can also set small, specific deadlines for each part, which will help keep you on track. The 2-minute rule. Another powerful strategy for overcoming procrastination is the 2-minute rule. This rule, popularized by productivity expert David Allen, suggests that if a task will take 2 minutes or less, you should do it right away. This could be as simple as answering a quick email, making a phone call, or tidying up your workspace. The reason this works is that it helps you overcome the inertia that often accompanies procrastination. Once you get started on small tasks, you're more likely to build momentum and tackle larger tasks as well. The importance of regular check-ins. Finally, it's important to schedule regular check-ins with yourself to review your progress and adjust your priorities. This will help you stay on track and make necessary adjustments to your goals and strategies. Set aside time each week to reflect on what you've accomplished, what you still need to do, and whether any changes are necessary to keep moving forward. Reviewing your progress helps you stay motivated and ensures that you're always working toward the right goals. It also helps you identify any areas where procrastination might be creeping back in so that you can address it before it becomes a problem. Conclusion. Setting clear, actionable goals and prioritizing tasks are essential strategies for overcoming procrastination. By breaking down your goals into smaller, manageable steps and using tools like the Eisenhower Matrix and the 2-minute rule, you can take immediate action and build momentum toward your larger objectives. Regularly reviewing your progress and adjusting your approach will ensure that you stay focused and on track. In the next chapter, we will explore how to develop the habits and mindset that will allow you to consistently take action, even when you're not feeling motivated. Remember, overcoming procrastination is a process, but with the right tools and strategies, you can turn procrastination into productivity. Chapter 4. Developing productive habits. Consistency is key. Now that we've covered how to set clear goals, prioritize tasks, and break them down into manageable steps, it's time to focus on one of the most powerful strategies for overcoming procrastination: developing productive habits. While goal setting and time management are essential, it's the daily habits you create that will ultimately determine your long-term success. Consistency is the key to moving from procrastination to productivity. And in this chapter, we'll explore how to establish and maintain habits that support your goals. The power of habits in overcoming procrastination. At the heart of procrastination lies a lack of consistent action. It's easy to fall into the trap of putting things off when you don't have routines or habits in place to guide your daily actions. But by developing productive habits, you can automate your decision-making and remove the friction that causes procrastination. Habits are like the autopilot system for your brain. They help you do the right things without having to think about them. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by working harder on a whim. They did it through consistent, intentional habits. Whether it's waking up early, exercising, or dedicating time to deep work, their habits create the foundation for their productivity. The science behind habit formation. To understand how to build productive habits, it's helpful to understand how habits are formed in the first place. According to Charles Duhigg's book, The Power of Habit, habits are made up of 3 components: the cue, the routine, and the reward. Cue. This is the trigger or prompt that initiates the habit. It could be an external factor, like a specific time of day, or an internal feeling, like stress or boredom. Routine. The behavior or action you take in response to the cue. This is the habit itself. For example, if your cue is feeling stressed, your routine might be to go for a walk to clear your head. Reward. This is the positive outcome or feeling that reinforces the behavior. It's what makes your brain want to repeat the habit in the future. In the case of the walk, the reward might be feeling more relaxed and focused afterward. When you consistently follow this loop, your brain starts to associate the cue with the routine and the reward, and the habit becomes automatic. The more frequently you repeat this cycle, the stronger the habit becomes. This is why consistency is so important in habit formation. Building small, sustainable habits. When it comes to overcoming procrastination, the key is to start small. Rather than trying to overhaul your entire life all at once, focus on building small, manageable habits that you can sustain. Starting with something simple and easy to do will give you a sense of accomplishment, which in turn fuels motivation to continue. For example, if you're trying to establish a habit of exercising every day, start by committing to just 10 minutes of exercise a day. This small commitment is much more achievable than trying to commit to an hour-long workout every day right from the start. Over time, as the habit becomes ingrained, you can gradually increase the intensity or duration. The idea is to make the habit so small and easy that you don't have an excuse to avoid it. This way, you can build momentum and consistency without feeling overwhelmed. Once the small habit becomes automatic, you can start adding more complex tasks or habits to your routine. Habit stacking, a technique for building new habits. One of the most effective ways to build a new habit is by using a technique called habit stacking. This method involves linking a new habit to an existing one that you already do regularly. By stacking a new habit onto an established routine, you created a trigger that makes it easier to remember and complete the new habit. For example, let's say you already have a habit of drinking a cup of coffee every morning. You can stack a new habit onto this routine by committing to writing down your top 3 tasks for the day right after you drink your coffee. In this case, your existing habit drinking coffee becomes the cue for the new habit planning your day. Over time, this habit stack becomes automatic. Habit stacking is an effective way to introduce new behaviors without overwhelming yourself. By associating the new habit with something you already do, you're more likely to follow through. Tracking your habits for motivation. Another powerful way to stay consistent with your habits is by tracking them. The act of tracking provides visible proof of your progress, which can be incredibly motivating. Whether it's marking off each day you successfully complete your habit on a calendar or using a habit tracking app, seeing your progress in real time reinforces your commitment and builds momentum. Tracking your habits also allows you to notice patterns. You might discover that you're more consistent on certain days or at specific times of day. This information can help you adjust your routine to ensure that you're working with your natural rhythms, not against them, creating a routine that works for you. While it's important to have habits in place, it's equally important to develop a routine that works for your unique lifestyle. Everyone's productivity looks different, and what works for one person may not work for another. Experiment with different routines until you find one that feels sustainable and energizing. Some people thrive with early morning routines, while others are more productive in the evening. Pay attention to your own energy levels and productivity patterns to determine when you're most focused and ready to tackle important tasks. Create a routine that incorporates your most important habits during these times to maximize your productivity. Overcoming setbacks and staying consistent. Even with the best intentions, you may encounter setbacks. Life happens, and sometimes habits slip through the cracks. The key is not to get discouraged by these setbacks, but to view them as a natural part of the process. Developing new habits takes time and effort, and occasional lapses don't define your success. When setbacks occur, instead of beating yourself up, simply acknowledge the mistake and recommit to your habit. The more quickly you get back on track, the less likely you are to fall into a cycle of procrastination. Remember, consistency is about showing up over and over again, not being perfect every time. Conclusion: developing productive habits is one of the most powerful ways to overcome procrastination and build lasting productivity. By focusing on small, sustainable habits, tracking your progress, and creating a routine that works for you, you can build a strong foundation for consistent action. Remember, success doesn't happen overnight. It's the small, consistent efforts over time that add up to big results. In the next chapter, we'll discuss how to maintain motivation and stay focused, even when you face distractions or challenges. Developing the right habits is just the first step, but with the right mindset and tools, you can continue to build on your success and keep procrastination at bay. Chapter 5. Staying motivated. Pushing through challenges. Now that we've talked about setting goals, developing productive habits, and managing your time, it's time to focus on one of the most challenging aspects of overcoming procrastination. Staying motivated. Motivation is what drives you to keep moving forward, even when obstacles arise, or when the initial excitement of starting something new fades away. In this chapter, we'll explore how to keep your motivation high and how to push through challenges, even when things get tough. The nature of motivation. Motivation is a complex, ever-changing force. Some days you'll feel on top of the world, full of energy and excitement to tackle your tasks. On other days, it might feel like a struggle to get started or stay focused. This fluctuation is completely normal and something everyone experiences at some point. There are two types of motivation to consider. Intrinsic motivation. This comes from within. It's the desire to do something because it feels personally rewarding. For example, you might enjoy a particular task or find satisfaction in achieving your goals, regardless of external rewards. Intrinsic motivation is often more sustainable because it's fueled by personal enjoyment or fulfillment. Extrinsic motivation. This comes from external sources like rewards, recognition, or the fear of failure. Extrinsic motivation can be powerful in the short term, but it's not always as reliable in the long run. Over time, relying too heavily on external rewards can lead to burnout or a lack of motivation when those rewards aren't present. The key to staying motivated is to find a balance between both types of motivation. When you can align your tasks with your intrinsic values while also setting up external rewards or accountability, you'll create a solid foundation for sustained motivation. Finding your why. One of the most powerful tools for staying motivated is to identify your why, the deeper reason behind why you want to accomplish your goals in the first place. When you connect with your underlying motivation, it becomes easier to push through the tough days. Your why is the emotional connection to your goals. It's the personal significance behind what you're working towards. For example, if you want to get in shape, your why might not just be about looking good. It could be about feeling healthy, having more energy, or being able to play with your kids. Identifying this deeper reason will help you stay focused, even when the work feels difficult. Write down your why and keep it somewhere visible. Whenever you feel unmotivated, read it over and remind yourself why you started. This reminder can reignite your drive and make the tasks feel more meaningful. Visualization. Seeing your success. Visualization is a powerful technique used by many high achievers to stay motivated. By mentally picturing yourself achieving your goals, you can create a sense of ownership and confidence that propels you forward. Visualization helps reinforce the belief that success is possible and within your reach. Take a few minutes each day to visualize yourself completing your tasks and achieving your goals. Imagine the sense of satisfaction and pride you'll feel when you cross the finish line. Picture the emotions you'll experience when you reach your desired outcome. The more vividly you can imagine your success, the more likely you are to stay motivated and focused on your path. Visualization can also help you break through moments of self-doubt. When challenges arise, remind yourself of the bigger picture and the success you're working towards. By keeping this vision in mind, it becomes easier to stay focused on the long-term payoff rather than getting caught up in temporary obstacles. Creating a reward system. Rewards are a great way to stay motivated, especially when your external motivation is low. By setting up a system of rewards for completing tasks or reaching milestones, you can create positive reinforcement that encourages continued progress. Your rewards can be small or large, depending on the task. For example, after completing a work task, you might reward yourself with a short break or a favorite snack. For larger goals, such as finishing a big project, your reward might be a day off or something you've been wanting to buy for yourself. The important thing is to make the reward something you truly enjoy, something that feels like a treat. This gives your brain a reason to look forward to completing the task and provides a sense of accomplishment when you finish it. Overcoming setbacks. How to keep going. Even with all the right systems in place, setbacks are inevitable. There will be days when you don't feel like working or when you face obstacles that seem insurmountable. This is where your resilience and commitment to your goals come into play. It's crucial to recognize that setbacks are not failures. They're part of the process. Every setback provides an opportunity to learn and grow. Instead of getting discouraged, take a step back, reassess your approach, and try again. The most successful people aren't the ones who never face setbacks. They're the ones who keep going no matter what. When you face a setback, try to reframe your thinking. Rather than seeing it as a roadblock, view it as a learning experience. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Or, how can I adjust my approach to make sure I succeed next time? By adopting this growth mindset, you'll find that setbacks become less intimidating and more manageable. Building a support system. Another key factor in staying motivated is building a support system. Having people around you who encourage and hold you accountable can make a huge difference in maintaining your motivation. Whether it's a friend, family member, or colleague, find someone who understands your goals and can help keep you on track. This could be someone to check in with regularly or someone you can lean on for advice and encouragement when things get tough. In addition to having a person to support you, you can also find motivation in online communities, support groups, or through mentorship. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who are also working towards similar goals can inspire you to keep moving forward and help you stay accountable. Conclusion. Staying motivated is a key part of overcoming procrastination. By identifying your why, visualizing your success, creating rewards, and building a support system, you'll have the tools you need to push through the difficult days. Remember, motivation isn't something that just appears on its own. It's something that you can nurture and cultivate with the right strategies. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to maintain focus and avoid distractions, even when motivation starts to wane. The journey to productivity and overcoming procrastination is ongoing, but with the right tools and mindset, you'll be well on your way to achieving your goals. Chapter 6. Developing Consistency, the key to overcoming procrastination. In the previous chapters, we've covered important aspects of overcoming procrastination, such as understanding its causes, setting effective goals, and staying motivated. Now let's delve into a crucial element of long-term success. Consistency. Building consistent habits is essential when it comes to overcoming procrastination and achieving your goals. It's not about working hard for a few days and then burning out. It's about building a sustainable routine that you can stick to over the long term. The power of consistency. Consistency is the secret sauce to success in almost any area of life. It's the small, daily actions that add up over time to create significant change. Whether it's in your career, fitness goals, or personal development, the key to progress is consistent effort. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't do it once and then expect your teeth to stay clean forever. You brush them every day, multiple times a day, because it's a habit that keeps your teeth healthy. The same principle applies to everything you want to achieve. The key is showing up every day, even if it's just a small step forward. Over time, these small steps accumulate and create lasting progress. The importance of habit formation. The foundation of consistency lies in forming habits. Habits are automatic behaviors that require less mental effort to execute over time. When a habit becomes ingrained in your routine, it doesn't feel like work anymore. It becomes second nature. Creating new habits can be challenging, but it's worth it. If you want to stop procrastinating, you need to replace the habit of putting things off with a habit of taking action. This doesn't mean you have to make huge changes all at once. Instead, start with small, manageable tasks and focus on building one habit at a time. Once that habit is established, you can build on it and create more positive habits. The habit loop. Cue, routine, reward. To understand how habits work, it's helpful to know about the habit loop. This is a process that involves three key components. Cue. This is the trigger that starts the habit. It could be a time of day, an emotional state, or an event that prompts you to take action. For example, you might feel stressed. Cue, which then prompts you to procrastinate. Routine. This is the behavior you perform in response to the cue. In the case of procrastination, your routine might be to avoid the task at hand. But with consistency, you can train yourself to replace procrastination with more productive actions. Reward. The reward is the feeling of satisfaction or pleasure you get after completing the task or engaging in the behavior. If you consistently feel a sense of accomplishment after completing a task, you're more likely to continue the behavior. To break the cycle of procrastination, you'll want to identify the cues that lead to it and replace the procrastination routine with something more productive. For example, if you tend to procrastinate when you're overwhelmed by a large task, you could set a small, achievable goal to break the task into manageable steps. Over time, this small routine will become a habit, and you'll be less likely to procrastinate. Tracking progress. One of the most effective ways to build consistency is by tracking your progress. When you track your habits, you gain a sense of accomplishment every time you complete a task or reach a goal. This reinforces the habit and encourages you to keep going. There are many ways to track progress. You could use a habit tracker app, keep a journal, or simply mark off a calendar every day you complete a task. The key is to find a method that works for you and helps you stay accountable. Tracking your progress also allows you to see patterns. You'll be able to identify which tasks are consistently completed and which ones still cause you trouble. This can help you adjust your strategy and improve over time. The role of routine and consistency. Routine is a critical factor in building consistency. When you establish a daily routine, you set yourself up for success. Having a set schedule helps you prioritize tasks and minimize distractions. A consistent routine also helps reduce decision fatigue. When you don't have to decide what to do next, you conserve energy and mental focus, making it easier to stay on track. Start by identifying the key tasks that contribute to your goals and schedule them into your day. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to tackle everything at once. Start small and build your routine gradually. Once a habit is firmly established, it will require less effort and become a natural part of your daily life. A well-structured routine helps you maintain momentum. It's important to be flexible when needed, but try to stick to the routine as much as possible. The consistency you develop in your daily habits will become the foundation of your long-term success. Overcoming obstacles to consistency. Building consistency is not without its challenges. There will be days when you don't feel motivated, when life gets in the way, or when you encounter setbacks. These obstacles are normal and part of the process. The key is to stay committed to your goals, even when things don't go as planned. When you face challenges, try not to get discouraged. Instead, focus on progress, not perfection. Missing a day or making a mistake doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're human. The most important thing is to get back on track as soon as possible. Every time you persevere through a setback and stay consistent, you strengthen your resolve and build resilience. Another challenge is avoiding burnout. When you're trying to build consistency, it's easy to go all in and overcommit, but this can lead to exhaustion and frustration. Pace yourself and make sure you're balancing your efforts with self-care and rest. Consistency is about sustainable effort, not about pushing yourself to the limit every single day. Conclusion. Developing consistency is essential to overcoming procrastination and achieving your goals. It's not about working harder. It's about working smarter by building productive habits that become second nature. With the right strategies, you can replace procrastination with consistent action, leading to long-term success. In the next chapter, we'll explore the role of accountability in staying consistent and overcoming procrastination. By surrounding yourself with people who support your goals and hold you accountable, you can ensure that you stay on track and keep moving forward. Consistency is key, and with the right mindset and habits, you can develop it and make procrastination a thing of the past. Chapter 7. The Role of Accountability, Keeping Yourself on Track. In the last chapter, we discussed the importance of developing consistency as a way to overcome procrastination. But what happens when your motivation wanes or life throws obstacles your way? This is where accountability comes in. Having someone or something to keep you accountable can significantly boost your chances of staying on track and achieving your goals. In this chapter, we'll explore how accountability can play a pivotal role in overcoming procrastination. What is accountability? At its core, accountability is the act of being responsible to someone or something for your actions or behavior. It involves acknowledging that you have made a commitment and someone, whether a mentor, coach, or peer, is there to ensure you follow through. In the context of overcoming procrastination, accountability means having a system in place that checks your progress, encourages consistency, and motivates you to stay on task. Whether it's through someone you report to, a friend or a colleague, Knowing that others are aware of your commitments adds a layer of responsibility. It's easy to let yourself off the hook, but when someone else is involved, there's a greater sense of obligation. This social element can push you to act even when you don't feel like it. The power of external motivation. One of the main reasons accountability is effective is because it introduces external motivation. We all know that relying solely on internal motivation can be unpredictable. On days when you're feeling tired, distracted, or overwhelmed, the internal drive to push through might be lacking. But when someone is counting on you to show up and deliver, it adds an extra level of pressure that compels you to take action. For example, if you've committed to a workout buddy to exercise every morning, you're much more likely to follow through because you don't want to let them down. Similarly, if you're working on a project and have to report your progress to a manager or colleague, you're less likely to procrastinate because there's someone expecting you to get things done. Accountability makes procrastination less of an option. Different types of accountability. There are several ways you can incorporate accountability into your life, and it doesn't always have to involve a person. Here are a few ways you can build accountability into your routine. Accountability partners. One of the most powerful ways to stay accountable is by pairing up with a friend, colleague, or mentor who has similar goals. This person can check in on your progress regularly, offer encouragement, and hold you to your commitments. Having someone who holds you accountable in a supportive way can be a game changer in overcoming procrastination. Accountability groups. Sometimes, being part of a group can provide even more motivation, whether it's a small group of friends, a professional networking group, or an online community. Being part of a group that shares similar goals can encourage collective responsibility. Group members can provide feedback, encouragement, and the occasional nudge to keep everyone on track. Progress tracking tools. If you're not comfortable with direct social accountability, you can use progress tracking tools to hold yourself accountable. This could include using productivity apps, creating checklists, or maintaining a journal to track your goals. Seeing your progress visually is a form of accountability to yourself. It provides a reminder that you've committed to a task and need to keep moving forward. Public commitment. Public accountability is when you announce your goals to a larger audience, like on social media, a blog, or within your organization. The idea here is that once you've made your commitment public, you feel a sense of duty to follow through because you've shared it with others. This can be incredibly powerful, as it creates a sense of responsibility to not only yourself, but to others who are aware of your commitments. How to choose the right accountability method. The method of accountability you choose depends on your personality, the nature of your goals, and the level of support you need. If you're someone who thrives on social interaction and enjoys collaboration, a partner or group may be the best fit. If you prefer working alone but need a reminder to stay on track, using a progress tracking tool might be more effective. The key to success with accountability is consistency. Whether it's checking in with your accountability partner, updating your progress tracking tool, or simply committing to a regular review, the act of holding yourself accountable is crucial in avoiding procrastination. Handling resistance to accountability. Despite the benefits of accountability, many people struggle with it. Resistance may arise due to fear of judgment, feeling vulnerable, or simply not wanting to be held accountable. You may also experience negative emotions like guilt or shame if you don't meet your commitments. Overcoming this resistance starts with recognizing that accountability is not about judgment. It's about support. The people involved in your accountability system are there to help you, not to criticize you. Building trust with your accountability partner or group is essential to reducing resistance. They should be a source of encouragement and motivation, not stress. Additionally, if you find that your progress isn't where you'd like it to be, don't use accountability as a reason to feel defeated. Instead, use it as a tool for reflection. Maybe you need to adjust your approach, reevaluate your goals, or take smaller steps forward. Accountability should inspire action, not anxiety. Staying accountable when motivation fades. We've all experienced moments when motivation disappears. It's natural. Motivation is cyclical, and some days are harder than others. When motivation fades, accountability becomes even more important. It's during these times that an accountability partner or group can provide the external push you need to keep going. When motivation is low, take small, manageable actions. Even if it's just a tiny step in the right direction, it's better than nothing. Your accountability system can help you stay consistent, even when your own internal motivation is lacking. By focusing on regular small tasks, you prevent procrastination from creeping in. Conclusion: incorporating accountability into your life is a powerful tool to help you overcome procrastination. Whether you have an accountability partner, use progress tracking tools, or rely on public commitments, being responsible to someone or something outside of yourself can keep you on track and motivated to achieve your goals. Remember, accountability isn't about judgment. It's about support. It's about setting yourself up for success by building a system of accountability that encourages you to follow through. In the next chapter, we'll explore the importance of rewards and how using them can help reinforce positive behavior and keep you motivated along the way. Chapter 8. Rewarding progress. Celebrating small wins. In the previous chapter, we discussed the importance of accountability and how it can help you stay on track when working to overcome procrastination. However, just as accountability is a key part of the process, celebrating your successes is equally important. As you make progress towards your goals, it's essential to recognize and reward your achievements, no matter how small. This chapter will explore the significance of rewarding yourself and how it can positively reinforce the habit of taking consistent action. The power of rewards. It's easy to get caught up in the daily grind and focus solely on the tasks ahead. However, neglecting to celebrate small wins along the way can lead to burnout, discouragement, and a lack of motivation. When you fail to acknowledge your progress, the journey toward your goal can start to feel endless. Rewarding yourself for completing a task or reaching a milestone helps create positive reinforcement that encourages you to keep going. Rewards are not only a way to enjoy the fruits of your labor, but also a strategy to motivate yourself to continue pushing through challenges. The brain responds to rewards by releasing dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation. This dopamine release is a natural reward system that encourages us to repeat behaviors that lead to positive outcomes. By rewarding yourself for your hard work and progress, you are training your brain to associate productive behavior with positive emotions, making it more likely that you'll continue engaging in productive actions. Understanding the importance of small wins, overcoming procrastination, and achieving your goals is a long-term process that often requires patience and perseverance. The journey to success can feel like a marathon, not a sprint. As such, celebrating small wins along the way helps to maintain momentum and boosts your confidence. Each small achievement brings you closer to your ultimate goal, and recognizing those moments reinforces the belief that progress is being made. Small wins can be anything from completing a single task on your to-do list to making significant strides toward a larger goal. For example, if your goal is to write a book, finishing a chapter, or even a few pages is a small win. If you're working on a project, completing a milestone or a section of the task could be an accomplishment worth celebrating. These smaller moments of achievement keep you motivated and provide the positive reinforcement needed to stay on track. Types of rewards. The rewards you choose should align with your values, preferences, and the nature of the task. It's essential to find rewards that will genuinely motivate you to continue working toward your goals. Here are a few types of rewards to consider. Self-care rewards. Taking care of yourself is an important aspect of maintaining productivity in the long run. Self-care rewards might include taking a relaxing bath, enjoying a cup of your favorite tea, or having a leisurely walk outside. These activities help recharge your mental and emotional energy, making it easier to stay focused and productive in the future. Experiential rewards. Sometimes, a tangible reward like a night out with friends or a fun experience can provide a sense of accomplishment and excitement. If you've finished a significant task, you might reward yourself by going to see a movie you've been wanting to watch or treating yourself to a new experience. These rewards are enjoyable and provide a sense of fulfillment that reinforces positive behavior. Material rewards. If you've completed a task or reached a milestone, buying yourself a small gift can be a great way to celebrate your achievement. Whether it's a new book, a piece of clothing, or something for your workspace, Material rewards can provide a tangible reminder of your hard work and success. Social rewards, sharing your achievements with others, can also be a motivating reward. For example, telling a friend or loved one about the progress you've made can create a sense of connection and pride. You might also choose to celebrate by spending time with people you enjoy, or by simply receiving positive reinforcement from those you care about. Time-based rewards, giving yourself time to relax or do something you enjoy, can be a powerful incentive to keep working. This could involve taking a break to watch your favorite show, spend time outdoors, or take a day off to rest. Sometimes the most rewarding thing you can do is simply give yourself permission to relax. Setting up a reward system. To ensure that you're consistently rewarding yourself, it's helpful to set up a clear and structured reward system. Start by identifying the goals or tasks you want to accomplish, and then break them down into smaller, manageable actions. For each small task you complete, decide on a suitable reward. The key here is to make the reward meaningful enough to motivate you, but not so large that it feels disproportionate to the task at hand. For instance, if your goal is to write 500 words a day, you might reward yourself with a 15-minute break to stretch or enjoy a cup of coffee once you hit your word count. For larger tasks, such as completing an entire project, your reward might be something more significant, such as an evening out or purchasing something special for yourself. By aligning your rewards with your tasks, you create a system that helps maintain your momentum and keeps procrastination at bay. The importance of delayed gratification. While immediate rewards can be effective in reinforcing positive behavior, it is also important to practice delayed gratification for larger goals. Delayed gratification means postponing the reward until the task or project is completed. This approach can be especially helpful when working toward long-term objectives. It teaches you patience, self-discipline, and the ability to stay focused on the bigger picture. For example, if you're working toward a significant career goal, you may decide to reward yourself with a vacation once you've achieved the milestone. Although the immediate temptation for rewards may arise, reminding yourself of the bigger reward in the future can help you stay disciplined and focused on your long-term success. Overcoming the trap of perfectionism. One common challenge in overcoming procrastination is the tendency to be a perfectionist. Perfectionism can make you delay completing tasks because you feel they must be done perfectly before you can move on. This creates an endless cycle of indecision and inaction. By rewarding yourself for progress rather than perfection, you take the pressure off and allow yourself to celebrate even incremental achievements. For example, if you're writing an article and you're stuck because you want every sentence to be flawless, remind yourself that completing a draft is a win in itself. Rewarding yourself for finishing a draft, even if it's rough, is far more productive than waiting for perfection. This shift in mindset helps you overcome the perfectionism that often leads to procrastination. Conclusion. Rewarding yourself for progress, no matter how small, is a powerful tool in the fight against procrastination. It helps reinforce positive behaviors, boosts motivation, and keeps you focused on your goals. By recognizing your accomplishments and celebrating them, you cultivate a mindset of success and build momentum for future tasks. Remember, overcoming procrastination is a journey, and each small victory deserves to be celebrated. So the next time you complete a task or reach a milestone, don't forget to reward yourself. Celebrate your hard work and use that energy to keep pushing toward your bigger goals. In the next chapter, we'll discuss how to handle setbacks and learn from failures in order to continue progressing toward your goals. Chapter 9. Handling setbacks, turning challenges into growth. Throughout this journey, we have learned many valuable strategies to help overcome procrastination and build positive, productive habits. However, it's essential to recognize that no path to success is entirely smooth. Setbacks, mistakes, and challenges are an inevitable part of life, and learning how to handle them effectively is crucial for long-term growth. This chapter focuses on how to manage setbacks, bounce back from them, and turn them into opportunities for learning and self-improvement. The reality of setbacks. Setbacks are an inevitable part of any endeavor. Whether you're working on a personal project, advancing your career, or trying to break free from procrastination, there will always be obstacles. These obstacles could be anything from unexpected interruptions in your schedule to moments when you feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of your goals. It's easy to become discouraged when things don't go as planned, but it is important to understand that setbacks are a natural part of the process, not a reflection of your ability or potential. What distinguishes successful individuals is not the absence of setbacks, but their ability to manage them effectively. Everyone encounters obstacles. It's how you respond to them that determines your ability to stay on track and continue making progress. Developing resilience and a growth mindset will enable you to view setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities to learn and grow. Shifting your perspective on failure. A significant part of overcoming setbacks is shifting your perspective on what failure actually means. Many people view failure as something negative, a sign of inadequacy or proof that they are incapable of achieving their goals. However, failure is often a necessary stepping stone on the road to success. It's how you handle failure that will determine whether you use it to propel yourself forward or allow it to hold you back. One way to shift your perspective is to redefine failure. Instead of seeing it as the end, see it as feedback. When you face a setback, ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? What could I have done differently? Viewing setbacks as opportunities to learn empowers you to take control of your journey and use challenges to your advantage. Remember that setbacks are often temporary. They don't define who you are or the value of your goals. Everyone faces challenges. What matters is how you approach them and use them as fuel for growth. Learning from setbacks. Every setback offers an opportunity to learn something new, whether it's a lesson in time management, an insight into how you work best, or a realization about where you need to improve. Setbacks provide valuable information that can help you improve your habits and decision-making. Instead of avoiding challenges, embrace them as opportunities to refine your strategies and become more resilient. Start by reflecting on the setback. What led to the challenge? Was it a lack of preparation? Did you underestimate the time required for a task? Or perhaps you allowed distractions to derail your progress. Understanding the root cause of the setback allows you to make necessary adjustments for the future. It's also helpful to develop a habit of journaling or tracking your setbacks. By documenting the challenges you encounter and how you overcame them, you gain insight into patterns that may help you handle similar situations better in the future. Tracking your progress over time also reinforces your ability to manage setbacks and provides motivation to continue. Building resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and continue pursuing your goals despite obstacles. It's an essential trait for overcoming procrastination, as setbacks will inevitably occur. Resilience doesn't mean you won't experience frustration, disappointment, or stress during difficult times. It means you have the mental strength to keep going and find solutions to the problems that arise. There are several strategies you can use to build resilience in the face of setbacks. Stay positive. While it's natural to feel discouraged after a setback, it's important to stay positive. Shift your focus away from what went wrong and towards what you can do next. Optimism helps you stay motivated and fosters an attitude of growth and possibility. Break down challenges into manageable steps. Large setbacks can feel overwhelming, but breaking them down into smaller, more manageable steps can help you regain a sense of control. Instead of focusing on the entire problem, concentrate on what you can do right now to make progress. This approach prevents you from feeling paralyzed by the scope of the challenge. Practice self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself after a setback, but self-criticism can hinder your ability to bounce back. Instead, practice self-compassion by treating yourself with kindness and understanding. Acknowledge that setbacks happen to everyone, and that they don't define your worth or capabilities. Seek support. Don't hesitate to reach out to others for support when facing a setback. Whether it's a mentor, friend, or colleague, talking through your challenges with someone else can provide valuable perspective and encouragement. Sometimes, simply knowing that others have experienced similar difficulties can help you feel less alone in your struggles. Focus on what you can control. There are many factors that can contribute to setbacks, some of which are beyond your control. Rather than focusing on what you can't change, direct your energy toward the aspects of the situation that you can influence. Taking proactive steps towards solving the problem helps you regain a sense of agency and empowerment. Developing a plan for overcoming future setbacks. To prevent setbacks from derailing your progress in the future, it's important to develop a proactive plan. This plan should outline how you will handle challenges when they arise and include specific strategies for staying on track. Having a set of tools and techniques to rely on during difficult times can help you stay focused and resilient when faced with setbacks. Start by anticipating potential challenges. What might derail your progress in the future? Whether it's unexpected distractions, lack of time, or unforeseen complications, preparing yourself mentally for possible setbacks helps you react more effectively when they occur. Next, create a strategy for dealing with setbacks. This could involve taking a short break to recharge, revisiting your goals to assess if any changes are needed, or adjusting your schedule to make up for lost time. Being flexible and adaptable is key to handling setbacks without letting them stall your progress. Conclusion: setbacks are a natural part of life and an inevitable part of overcoming procrastination. The way you handle these setbacks will determine your ability to continue making progress. By shifting your perspective on failure, learning from setbacks, and building resilience, you'll be better equipped to handle challenges and keep moving forward. Remember, setbacks don't define you. They're simply opportunities for growth. In the next chapter, we'll dive into the importance of staying consistent and how consistency is key to building lasting habits and achieving your goals. Chapter 10. Building lasting habits. Consistency is key. As we approach the final chapter of this audiobook, we've covered a range of strategies and techniques to help you overcome procrastination. From breaking tasks down into manageable steps to managing setbacks with resilience, each concept plays an important role in your journey to productivity. However, none of these strategies will yield lasting results if they're not supported by one fundamental element: consistency. In this chapter, we'll explore the power of consistency and how it can help you build habits that will sustain long-term success. The power of consistency. Consistency is the foundation of any successful habit. Whether you're trying to stop procrastinating, build a healthier lifestyle, or accomplish any other long-term goal, it's consistency that will drive results. The key to lasting change is not necessarily making huge leaps forward every day, but instead, showing up regularly and doing something, no matter how small, that aligns with your goal. Imagine building a house. You wouldn't expect to complete the entire structure in one day, nor would you expect the house to be perfect on the first attempt. It takes time and effort, with each brick being laid consistently until the house is complete. The same principle applies to building productive habits. You don't need to make massive improvements every day. Small, consistent actions will compound over time and lead to significant progress. The journey to overcoming procrastination isn't about making drastic changes overnight. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, and putting in the effort, no matter how small. Over time, these efforts will add up and create the momentum you need to continue moving forward. The role of small, consistent actions. In previous chapters, we've discussed breaking tasks down into smaller steps to make them more manageable. But there's another reason why small actions are so powerful. They are more sustainable over the long term. When you try to take on too much at once, it can be overwhelming, and you may quickly burn out. By focusing on small, consistent actions, you're more likely to stay motivated and build lasting habits that don't feel like a huge burden. For example, let's say you want to develop the habit of exercising regularly. If you commit to an intense workout every day for an hour, you might feel motivated at first, but soon the time commitment will feel overwhelming. Instead, committing to a 10-15-minute workout each day can be much more sustainable. Over time, as you consistently complete your daily exercise, you'll build the habit and gradually increase the intensity or duration without feeling the pressure to do everything at once. The key is to start small and remain consistent. As you continue with these small, manageable actions, you'll start to build momentum and gain confidence in your ability to stay on track. Tracking progress and celebrating wins. As you work toward your goals and stay consistent, it's important to track your progress and celebrate your wins. Tracking your progress helps you visualize how far you've come and serves as a reminder of the effort you've invested. It also provides a tangible way to see the results of your consistency. You can track your progress in many ways, depending on the nature of your goals. For instance, if you're trying to write a book, keeping a log of your word count each day can help you see how your small, consistent efforts are adding up. If you're working on a project, tracking the completion of tasks can provide a sense of accomplishment. Celebrating your wins, no matter how small, further reinforces the habit of consistency. Each time you recognize your progress, you reinforce the positive behavior, which encourages you to keep going. Acknowledging your achievements also helps maintain motivation and provides a sense of satisfaction, which is essential for long-term success. The importance of patience. Consistency requires patience. It's easy to expect immediate results, but lasting change takes time. Developing habits doesn't happen overnight, and it's important to give yourself the space to grow. Even if progress feels slow at times, remember that consistency is building momentum, and each step forward brings you closer to your ultimate goal. Patience is a vital aspect of overcoming procrastination because it helps you stay committed to your goals, even when immediate results are not visible. Rather than getting discouraged by the lack of instant success, focus on the process and trust that your consistent efforts will pay off in the long run. How to stay consistent. Staying consistent is often easier said than done, especially when faced with distractions, competing priorities, or moments of self-doubt. However, there are several strategies you can implement to ensure you stay on track. Create a routine. Building consistency is much easier when you establish a routine. A regular schedule helps automate tasks, making them a natural part of your day. Whether it's setting aside time each morning to work on your goals or carving out a specific time each week to check in on your progress, a routine keeps you on track and ensures consistency. Make it a non-negotiable. Treat your goals as non-negotiable commitments. If you schedule time to work on something, protect that time just like any other important appointment. Don't allow distractions to interfere. By making your goals a priority, you reinforce the importance of consistency. Start with what you can handle. If you're feeling overwhelmed, start with small, manageable actions. Trying to tackle everything at once can lead to burnout. Begin with simple, achievable tasks and gradually increase the challenge as you build your confidence and consistency. Hold yourself accountable. As we discussed in an earlier chapter, accountability is a powerful motivator. Share your goals with someone you trust, or use accountability tools such as habit tracking apps. Knowing that someone else is aware of your progress can keep you motivated to stay consistent. Be kind to yourself. On the path to consistency, there will be days when things don't go as planned. When this happens, don't beat yourself up. Acknowledge the setback, learn from it, and get back on track. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means showing up even after setbacks. Conclusion. Consistency is the key to success. Overcoming procrastination and building lasting habits isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. The key to success lies in showing up consistently, taking small, manageable steps toward your goals, and being patient with yourself along the way. Remember that every small action you take is building the momentum needed to achieve your dreams. The journey to overcoming procrastination is not an easy one, but with the strategies we've discussed throughout this audiobook, you are now equipped with the tools to succeed. By committing to consistent action, embracing setbacks as learning opportunities, and celebrating your progress, you can achieve your goals and create lasting, productive habits. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope you now feel empowered to take consistent action toward overcoming procrastination and living a more productive, fulfilling life. You have the power to shape your future, one small, consistent step at a time.